Well, hello friends, it's Julie Norman, and today I have been thinking about what am I going to talk about because Tuesday is supposed to be my planning video day. I know that I don't always get Tuesday right, sometimes I have to switch, but one thing I've been thinking about for a while is the thought of proactive and reactive. So if you are hearing some noises in the background, it's probably my dishwasher. I haven't been miracle wife today. I ran the dishwasher. I put a whole roasted chicken in the crock pot. They are not my chickens that are out in the coop. Yeah. Let's just talk briefly about this concept and how it fits into planning. And I have not done much research on this subject. It is basically the school of life. Medium.com, if you guys are familiar with it, it's an interesting website. So the definition of reactive and proactive is as follows. I'm reading here. Reactive, reacting to the past rather than anticipating the future. Proactive, acting before a situation becomes a source of confrontation or crisis. So those are the difference. And you probably can think of somebody in your life who is very reactive. They seem like they're always catching up, or they're never catching up, probably. But there's always something that happens in their life that derails them. That there is probably something. I'm going to close my laptop here because it is going through my screensaver pictures. But anyways, reactive people usually are more victims of their circumstance because things happen and like their car, all of a sudden thing goes wrong with their engine or something. And all of a sudden everything, it's like a chain reaction to bad situations, and because they didn't have a savings maybe, or they didn't think ahead to, they don't know what to do with their kids for the day, or they don't know how to get groceries because they didn't stock up, something like that. So there's just a chain reaction of people who react to things. Okay, I just had to pause there a minute because I was holding the camera and my hand was getting tired on it. And who wants to see like a jumpy video? I don't really enjoy those, so you probably don't either. Anyways, as I was saying, reactive people. So these are the people more likely to not have thought ahead, or they just can never get ahead. And something comes up and it's a crisis. And then there are people who have engine trouble in their car. And then they go, oh, okay, we'll bring it to the shop. We have budgeted money for it, or we have a savings, and we have a friend or somebody who can rent it, or our car insurance has a rental car program on it, or we have AAA, whatever. So they have already set systems in place for them to be able to deal with crisis and the unexpected. And really, are the unexpected things really unexpected? Because you know, things break down and things happen. Health crises happen. Yeah. Just life. Life does not always go on a smooth, even level, right? That is why I think I'm bringing this back into planning. You know, I've got my planner here. This is a traveler's notebook, which I prefer. You know, everybody has their own preferred thing. The most important thing in here to me is my calendar. And so, this is my calendar for next week, and, you know, it's a handmade one, but it works for me. You know, you can see my previous videos for how I set this up. But this is a proactive piece, because I know that in the future, I have things going on. I've got dates coming up, and not only do I just write the dates, but I also write in things like, we're going to be going away for a little bit in May. So the week before, I wrote in on the weekend when we usually go grocery shopping, be careful about buying groceries because we don't want that stuff sitting in the fridge rotting and you come home and that's just not pretty. So there, you can be proactive in your planner. Also, when there's like a special birthday like the in-laws, I have, now, yeah, I do have a digital camera. It's kind of a, you know, something a little, yeah, just between you and me, because I don't want to lose these dates and get in trouble with my in-laws. I have their birthday on a digital thing, and then a week before that, I have a reminder that says, don't forget to buy the card and mail it off. So that is being proactive. Now, another thing about being proactive is, yeah, you go through and car maintenance. Maybe instead of waiting for the car to blow up, you have annual or semi-annual tune-ups that you take your car to. The same thing with health. You go in every year, maybe for your checkup, to make sure your baseline is what your baseline is, and then get your regular tests and such, and we do this for dental, for vision, things like that. So that's a way of getting a checkup. It doesn't limit unexpected things from happening. Just be able to plan ahead a little bit. And that's why I really think a planner really helps you to have a proactive life. And I'm not going to say that every situation that comes is going to be fixed by a planner, but it does help a lot. The second key part of the planner is my journal. Right here. It's my second book in my traveler's notebook. And this helps me to journal my thoughts and my thought processes and have a place to take all those things that are in my brain and to flow, not dump, flow into the journal. And sometimes I even, if I have this idea, I will write it out on paper and work through it, even to, like right now, my antique booth, I'm really thinking of revamping it. So I can make a little sketch of what it looks like and how I'll place the furniture and colors, like a vision board for that. So there's all kinds of things that you can be putting your thought process in place on here, and it helps to have a solid place to go. When you take your pen to paper, it helps to really cement things into your mind. And also, sometimes what happens is all I really needed to do was to put my idea on paper, and then I was done. It was out of my head. I'm one of those people who have too many ideas for a person. There are just too many ideas in my head, and sometimes I just have to get them out. I don't have to carry them out and actually do them, but I just need to write them down somewhere, so then they're just out, and then I can have more room in my head for other more important things. Okay, one of my ideas is that I think Home Depot or Lowe's or one of those big box construction stores should have a hot dog and brat stand. Blue collar, where do the construction workers go for lunch? I mean, they usually go to, you can go to the construction, buy, more nails and buy a hot dog. Okay, that's one of my ideas. So Home Depot, you heard it here first. So how do you transition from a reactive person into a proactive person? That is a good question. First, you're going to want to have to do it. And if you have been reacting for a long time, it might take a lot in your brain to click, because you might be so used to functioning that way that it feels really weird to function the other way. And it might be kind of scary. Change can be scary, but good at the same time. So the first thing I suggest you do is you get the calendar, and then you write out, your dates. If most of us do already do this, but gather in all those things like your schedules, those appointments, and those like those wedding dates, the showers, whatever you need to do, and write them in that calendar. It doesn't have to be a perfect calendar. It can just be a piece of paper listed with the upcoming dates. Just doesn't have to be fancy. Don't go out and say, I will do that, I'll order it, and when it comes in, then I will do it. No, just take out a piece of paper right now and just write all those down. And if you do get a calendar, then at that point, transfer them over. One of the things about being proactive is to do it now. I am not the best person at that, but I kind of have a mix. I'm kind of like in between the two lines. I lean more towards the proactive, but there's still some things that I just react to. That's just the way I am. So that is the first thing, is to get your calendar going and to know the dates. And then think through, maybe a week at a time. You can look at next week and think, oh, I have a dentist appointment. So since I'm at the dentist appointment, I have to make sure you have childcare, make sure that, or whatever. Maybe you do an errand that's right next to the dental appointment. Maybe you have to just remember, I should really floss this week. And then that is one way of being proactive. And then you can see, like, you got a birthday coming up. I need to buy a gift and you need to send it out, whatever you need to do. So you can take it week by week at this, just little bits at a time. And then as you go on and you get used to it and get in the flow, then you can start doing it my rooster is really going right now. And then you can maybe do it by month, and then just increase the time range. And then think about then when you get really good at that, think about some things in your house that need to be regularly maintained. Just all those maintenance. Maybe you've got pets that need to have vaccinations every year, every 2 years. You kind of write that down too in that same piece of paper, calendar, whatever you got. So those are some small steps. And then as you go, you could search online for what else do I need to do? What are some household maintenance things as you go? And I'm going to confess here that I don't put those things on my calendar because for me, I have rebel tendencies. So if I see a list every year of things that say, okay, in September, make sure you get your furnace filter. In October, get your car tuned up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go like, yeah, that's nice that I wanted to do that last summer, but I don't feel up to it, so I'm not going to do it. So what I have to do is I have to trick myself into doing it. But that's another story for another time. But there are some people who do really good at lists and making annual lists. Maybe you set up a tickler file, look up that term, it's kind of cool. Or you do a Sunday basket or whatever. There's so many systems you could try to be a little proactive. Those are kind of little steps. It's just a whole world out there. Every personality is different and every situation is different. So that's so nice that there's different ways. And don't worry if the first thing that you try doesn't work for you. I am upper 40s and I'm still working things out. Part of the reason is because I like different things and I like to change things up. So my experimentation will probably benefit you because you'll get to see different things. Anyway, so for you, those of you who have already done all that stuff, who are more of the proactive person, congratulations, gold star for you. So you are probably already on the page where you like your planners, you like your journal, and you're my people. So for those of you who are already being proactive, that is wonderful. I would love to hear how you do your daily, your weekly, your monthly maintenance, and how do you keep things up. For me, I'm more loose on that. Instead of making a list of saying, okay, every quarter we do this, we have that little sticker in the car that says your oil change is due in blah, 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 whatever that date is. And then when I go in, I think, is this the time that I ask the guys, do I need to get my tires rotated and then they will let me know. So just having those little things, like maybe just a sticker somewhere in the place that you use the item can really help. If you can't remember when to do your furnace filter, go to your furnace thermostat, because that's what you use, right, to look at your furnace. You don't go downstairs. And then maybe just put a little sticker or something on there, or a note that says last one done on this date. So you don't have to make a list. You can just be, like me, if you just like to be a little bit more random, that you can still cope with it. Now, some of you list makers or other people might go like, oh, I don't want to see these little notes and stickers all over. And that's fine. We're different. Maybe on the inside of your cupboard, the cover that you use a lot, you could just put a list of stuff of saying this is the last time I did this. In this Silk in Sonder, the annual supplement, there is an actual list that is really helpful for this. And you don't have to have this in order to have the list. I've seen these around. They're called like when was the last time I did this? And I've also seen it in Happy Planners. I have coupon discount codes for both of these. And I think I finally have a coupon code for those of you who have already purchased for the first time on a Silk and Sonder that you can use. So look for that below. Hopefully I have that code for you. Oh, here it is. Okay. It is on page 53 for those of you who have this. And it is, when did I last? And it's task, event, and the dates. So if you wanted to say, when did I last get my car tires rotated? When did I last give my cat his pill, whatever that is? When did I last change the furnace filter? When did I last, just whatever. You can probably think of your own list. And like I said, this is not like, you don't have to have the pretty thing here. You can just take it out of a piece of paper and just make sure that you put it somewhere where you don't lose it. So those are some tips on how to do it more randomly if you don't want the list, because that's just how I roll. So that is kind of what I've been thinking about lately with proactive versus reactive just lifestyle. And like I said, we probably fall into predominantly one more than the other. And then what you do want to do is work from the reactive to more of the proactive. Most of us are somewhere along this line. And the more we get to this point, the less stress we have and the more things can flow better. And that we are more prepared for the unexpected, for the things that come up in life that aren't ideal. And, you know, there's just, life just happens. And we can't expect it always to go smoothly. And I'm a case in point. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I just had like a big health change in the last couple, probably now going on 2 years with my health changes. You know, I've had a lot of things happen in my life. So, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that I've learned that life is precious. Every day is a gift. You just have to roll with it and be okay with your personality and how you roll with it, and be truthful and honest with yourself, because I would love to be that kind of person who writes those wonderful lists and follows them, but that's just not me. So I can't fit myself into that role. I do the things that work for me and not for what I think it should be. So thank you so much for coming along with me today. I hope this was interesting for you. And stay tuned for this Friday when I do what did I do this time? It's another to do with my antique booth. I'm doing a lot of those lately because it's kind of what I'm focusing on. It is really going well this month. So because of all the work I'm putting into it, go figure. So I hope that you enjoy that. So thank you so much for watching with me, and I hope you have a joyful day. Goodbye.